Hello, welcome back to Poor Boys Banter. Today we're going to talk about
Pint-Sized Vacations. Double entendre for pint-sized. Pint-sized because we were kids, and pint-sized because we didn't have a whole lot of money, so we couldn't go on the big lavish vacations to Disney World and stuff like that. We kind of kept it local.
I remember one vividly was there was a place in I think it's North Carolina, Tweetsie Railroad.
North Carolina, outside of
And,
Blowing Rock. Yeah.
This was a little bit after Mom had passed away, and me and Dad went over there, and my dad was terrified of heights, but he could get on a ladder 100 foot tall and go climb it. I never got it. If he was on a ladder, he didn't have a fear, but man, outside of that, you couldn't get the man on an airplane or nothing. But they had a chairlift, and it wasn't a massive, going across the Grand Canyon type chairlift, but I mean, you got up in the air pretty good. And I remember Dad got on it one time with me. I talked him into it. I was like, "Come on, Dad. Like, let's just do it one time." He had so much fun doing that we literally just merry-go-round looped the chairlift. And that's what we did for the whole day. And he just
That'd be
smiled.
fun.
He'd be looking down. Sometimes it would stop. Chairlifts will stop or whatever. He was just so, and I'll never forget that, man. It's like, and me and Dad spent, I guarantee you, it was 4 straight hours of just up, down, up, down.
What did you think about that? He had fun, but what did you think about it?
I was just having fun, man.
Okay,
He was
all right.
he was just, the way he was reacting is like the first time he'd ever been on a chairlift in his life.
He got over that fear.
And he got over it, and he loved it so much. And he was like, "You want to do it again? Yeah, let's do it." We did that, and the shooting the BB guns at the
Oh,
target.
yeah. Yeah,
That
those
was
things
what
were
we did all
awesome.
day.
That was my favorite thing to do at Tweetsie. Now, at Tweetsie, back when you rode the chairlift thing, going between the 2 different parks, there's a bottom part and the upper part that you rode the chairlift to. Did they have the people that looked like they crashed back then?
I can't remember.
Because they have a ghost train every Halloween, and I haven't been in years. But the first time I went, it was, I don't know, probably no, not quite that long. Probably 2008, 2009.
Is it still open?
Yeah, Tweetsie's still open.
Oh, I had no idea. I thought it was long
no,
gone.
Tweetie's
Like
still open. It sure is. And they still sell the same chintzy toys they used to.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same rubber Native
Wow.
American spears
I
and
had
stuff
no
like that.
idea that still existed.
And the really crappy plastic bows and arrows that break after you use them once or twice. But I
Even
remember
the little cork pop buns.
Oh, yeah. I've got one of those. I bought one of those. And in fact, I even cut the string to the cork where it actually
To make it work.
shot the cork out like an actual projectile. It wasn't it was a, ow!
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
But they had added, this is 20 years ago almost, they had added some chairs like they'd fallen off the cable, and they had these dummies sitting down there like they had their dead bodies.
I don't remember
It
it.
may have been just for Ghost Train. And nowadays, they don't have that upper part open for the Halloween thing anymore. So you can't go up there. But I remember the first few years we went, they had that upper tier, had some rides up there too. Anyway, I hijacked your story. Sorry about that. But
No, you're okay.
I remember Tweetsie.
And I thought, honestly, like, riding the train was the most boring thing. Like, I didn't want to go shoot the BB guns or ride the chairlift or do anything but ride the train. I just remember I never had, it just never, like, stimulated my brain to do that.
But didn't Tweetsie, or maybe it was Silver Dollar City before it was Dollywood. Maybe it was both of them. Didn't they have the bank robbers that got onto the train and threatened everybody? And it was kind of a action
I
show.
don't think when
plus
me and
comedy.
Dad were there, something like that would have happened. I might have been like, well, this has got some kind of content. But now, me and Dad, we basically just went from point A to point B real slow on a train. It was pretty boring.
Yeah, I get that. But it was always kind of embarrassing too when the people that got on the train, they kind of picked you out to joke with you, and you didn't think they were funny. You just kind of looked at them like, okay, you can move along now.
We probably went on a weekday, with my dad's work schedule at that time.
Yeah.
We probably ended up going on a weekday in the summertime when, like, none of this was happening, because all I remember is you kind of got on the train and you went from point A to point B and you got off, and it was like, wow.
Now, I think those BB gun things, was it BB guns or light? I think it was both. Well,
I think we were shooting pellets. We were
Yeah.
hitting targets.
Yeah, they don't
because
do
my
that
dad
anymore.
was really good at that. Like he just bang, 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 give me the prize, bang, bang, bang. I was like, how you doing that?
like in the Andy Griffith Show.
Yes, he was
Yeah,
good.
and that. If you don't know that episode, go watch it. Just go watch it. It's fun. But yeah, back in the day, I think they did use pellets. Nowadays, they use light guns.
Oh, they'd have to nowadays. Somebody turning
Yeah.
around shooting the people, it'd be a nightmare.
But what always pissed me off about those is you'd always find that one in some out of the way little vacation spot or tourist trap that had one of those set up where you got the light gun or the BB gun and you shot the little bullseyes and it did some kind of animatronic thing or played some music. Like I know if you shot one, the piano player would play. It was a mechanical piano player and he would go back and forth, ding, 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 ding. You know, when you hit the little bullseye,
Yeah.
or if you hit the little bullseye, the bucket would dip over, or a little bird would fly around, or whatever. What would piss me off is you go to one of these things that was kind of out of the way in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge or somewhere in Cherokee, North Carolina, or even Boone, and the darn things wouldn't work. And you think, well, I hit that. And you'd waste 5 shots knowing you were hitting it, and it never did go off until you realized, this damn thing's not working. And there goes my quarter or $1 or however much it went. Yeah, Tweetsie Railroad is still around. I haven't been in a long time because my kids grew up, and people kind of look at you funny if you go to a place like that by yourself.
Did y'all ever go to the? I know this one's got to be gone, but it was the Land of Oz, and I think that was somewhere in North Carolina.
No, it's in. Oh my gosh. Oh, it is near Boone. I'm blanking. You folks watching this, you probably know what I'm talking about. If not, look it up because they open up once a year now.
Oh, really?
They do, and the entire park isn't there anymore because years ago, some developer sold part of it, and part of it is private land now. But what is not private land, or what is not forbidden to go to, you can go to it, and some of it is the stuff back from the 70s and 80s. I think it closed mid 80s, maybe late 80s. And I remember us going when I was a kid. And if you've been, I'm not going to describe everything except the house, Dorothy's house that you went into. You walk in, it was the pleasant little farmhouse that you see in the movie. But then you went downstairs, and as you went downstairs, it got darker and darker, and it played this big movie of the tornado from the movie against the wall, and everything was kind of catty-cornered, and the floor was uneven, and it felt like you were in the tornado. Then you walked out the other side of the house, and boom, there you had the witch's legs underneath the house and so forth, and you went and actually met some of the characters. You met, the Scarecrow, Tin Wisdom Lion, and so forth. And then you went to see Oz, and it was fun. It was chintzy. It was silly. As a kid, it was fantastic, though. Holy cow. As a kid, I don't know if kids today have those rose-colored glasses that we did, where we saw this stuff, and it was real in our eyes. Kids today are exposed to so much stuff via YouTube and tablets and everything else. I'm not sure if they experienced that sense of magic that we did when we were kids going to these places. I remember we were walking to the final place at Land of Oz there in North Carolina, and it was when they had the big finale, the big show. And, I was like 7 years old. I was Mr. Man. Walking there with Dorothy, right there by my, hey, Dorothy, how you doing? That wish didn't scare me at all. No, it should. Really? You weren't scared of? No, I wasn't scared at all. Now, I was 7 years old, so I was probably acting like the biggest pompous little jerk ever. That witch didn't scare me at all. But Dorothy did a good job of making me feel important that day. And we all walked along in a big group. It was fun. In fact, there is a book out. I haven't read it yet, but I got it for a gift from my daughter last Christmas. And it's actually on my to-be-read pile here very soon. It talks about all that stuff. And I still have the Mego action figure of the Scarecrow that I got when we went. I lost all the I lost the hat. I lost everything else, but I still got the
I
figure.
think I got the 10 man. Yeah,
I think you did get the
I
10
got
man.
the
I think
10
I remember
man.
that.
Lost the axe like on the way home.
Yeah. The good thing is, if you want those back again, the old Mego Wizard of Oz figures are not a lot of money, so you can still get those if you ever want to go back and get that again. Another place that we would always go to, Silver Dollar City. Before Dollywood, I think Silver Dollar City became Dollywood in 1987, 86. I think this is the anniversary, actually, of when it changed over. Somewhere in there, 85, 86, 87 is when it changed over to Dollywood. Before then, it was Silver Dollar City. A lot of you folks know this already, so we're not going to revamp all that. There's plenty to read and watch about that in other channels. We're not going to do that. We're going to talk about how this place affected us. There's one time we went together to Silver Dollar City, I believe, right? And
Now, before we get to that, on the way, the first time, his dad was like, we're going to stop and get breakfast. And he pulls into an Arby's, and I'm confused. I'm honestly confused. Man, the ham and cheese croissant breakfast sandwich at Arby's back then. Dude,
my dad can find a sandwich.
that was the greatest thing. I was like, I'm ready to go back home now. I'm good. It's great.
That was the treat. That was always the vacation tradition. We got out in the car, we went to Arby's, because back then they had breakfast, and they had this ham and cheese croissant.
Oh, so good.
And he swore by it. And I don't like croissants. I don't like ham and cheese. I had one of those.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the greatest breakfast sandwich that's ever been made in the creation of the world. Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Croissant sandwiches at Burger King.
not even.
Hey,
Can't hold a candlestick.
nothing. They have nothing on this sandwich. They don't do it anymore. Anyway, that was the tradition for every vacation we went on to until Arby's quit doing it. The bastards. Anyway, moving forward, we would go to Silver Dollar City somewhat frequently because it was close by. Many of our vacations were close by. Like I said, we didn't have a whole lot of money. There was no Disneyland, Disney World in our immediate future. It was just difficult for them to get off work that long, first of all. And secondly,
Cost too much.
it cost too much for what we had. And we accepted that. We didn't rue the day. So we would go to Pigeon Forge all the dang time. And this one time, Philip and I went to Silver Dollar City. They have a roller coaster there, still there, and they recently revamped it, I believe. And someone had written that they were going to add water to it again. There used to be water inside of it. We'll talk about that in a minute. They took it out. I heard they were going to put it back, but then I heard they didn't. So I don't know. I haven't been there recently. But Blazing Fury, indoor coaster. The theme was, well, the entire theme of Silver Dollar City was that the mine was on fire. You went through, when you first entered the park, you went through this underground little area, and there were mine carts everywhere saying beware of gas, so forth. They had a flooded mine ride. That it wasn't a roller coaster. It was one of those on tracks, but you were in water, and you would go underground, and it had all these animatronic convicts in their black and white prisoner uniforms, mining, and and you'd go through there, and when you first went through, it showed these guys, chipping away and getting coal, or not coal, but gold and stuff out. And then the deeper you went, oh no, the water's rising. Oh no, the water's going up. And, they'd have holes in the wall where the water was coming through, and the flooded mine ride. Makes sense, right? And the deeper you went into the ride, more and more guys, more and more of these prisoners would be underwater or actually drowning. But it was drowning to comedic effect. It had this one
That's
big
the thing.
When that guy drowned? That was funny.
Yeah, really.
And it had this one whirlpool, and it showed these two legs of a prisoner,
Oh, yeah.
and the two legs would go around in the whirlpool just like that. And at the same time, though, the weird thing was the place was on fire. It was on fire and flooding at the same time, like the gas caught fire or something. I don't know. And that was kind of the theme through the entire park. You'd see little posters here and there talking about the flooded mine or about the burning town or burning whatever. And then Blazing Fury was an underground, not really underground, in a building, a dark ride roller coaster. It started off kind of pleasant, go through the countryside, you hear crickets, you'd see these people talking, animatronics again. And I'm sure people know this stuff by heart. Some of the people I know personally know the animatronic sayings by heart. You say, hey, have you ever ridden Blazing Fury? And they'll just quote sayings from the ride. I'm not quite that good. But you go through town, then all of a sudden you start seeing some fire. And they would do fire in the houses and the buildings by having like sheets of fabric with orange, yellow lights against them and sound effects of fire. And it looked like real fire was all over the place. And you would go down, you were going towards a bridge, and all of a sudden the bridge collapses, and that's one of the first rides or one of the first dips on the roller coaster. You go down through there. Another one, you're heading right towards a train. Looks like a train is heading right towards you. You see the train, the light of the train coming right at you. And just when you're about to hit the train, and you go down underneath the train again. And then for the last dip, I think she's about to blow, or something like that. It's a big explosion, and you went down to water. As you went down the hill, you hit this big thing of water. Water splashed all over you. A strobe light went off, and the water shot up out of the water. Water shot up out of the water. It's like a big explosion, and you got all wet. And then you exit the ride.
It felt good when it was hot, too.
Yeah, it did.
You were like looking forward to it.
We rode that ride how many times in a row?
No, that's all we did.
Because
we did it. We just looped it.
If they weren't busy, now, you know, Dollywood nowadays, there is never a day where it's not busy.
Yeah.
Maybe occasionally on the weekday.
We didn't have any problem back then looping that, though.
No.
We'd get off and get right back on.
It was, if we went during the week and they didn't have a big line, they would let you sit there and ride it as often as you wanted to. Mm-hmm. You didn't have to get off and go back through again. They would ask you, you want to ride again? Yeah. Okay, go on.
Yeah.
We rode that thing over and over and over again.
We did.
And and I remember one time, it wasn't the time we went, but I went through there. And I was feeling silly, feeling stupid. And we were going through there, and one of the first dips, I yeehawed like Bo and Luke Duke and Dixie Hazard. Yeehaw! And it's some guy back behind me. Yo, shut up, Luke Duke! And yeah, I got kind of embarrassed because I got called out. That's okay. I probably deserved it. And in Silver Dollar City, had this strawberry sundae thing that was, oh my God, it was so amazing. I don't think they have it anymore. They may, but I don't think they do. You could get it at certain stands there in the park, and it was just a creamy custard with strawberries. Oh, before I was fat, I could eat those and not worry about it. Now I feel guilty, but back then I didn't care. I was a kid.
You guys also, you went to the World's Fair in Knoxville, right? In like 82. We didn't go. I remember you brought me back like a belt buckle or something.
Belt buckle.
I never got to.
Speaking of yeehaw.
Yeah, really. I didn't go. Y'all went though, right?
We did go, and saw the big Sun Sphere, which is still there in Knoxville, of course. The weird thing is, it's funny you mentioned that because Mom was recently going through some stuff there in the house. Where Dad passed away last year. She's been kind of trying to clean up the house and clean out the shed. She found this big box of old glasses. On one of our episodes, we talk about McDonald's and the old character glasses. Mm-hmm. She found a lot of those character glasses, including the Bugs Bunny you mentioned. I just remembered that. Mm. She found the Bugs Bunny glass that we think McDonald's may have given out. In that big box of glasses was a big candle from the World's Fair. It looked like that big flame, that big red flame. So it's funny you mentioned that because she just found that and gave it to me.
Was that fun when you went though? I mean, or was it boring?
Boring as hell.
I figured.
Where are all the rides at? I want to ride some rides. Oh no, you get to see how Japanese live. I don't care about that. You get to see. You get to have some German beer. I can't drink that. The World's Fair for, let's see, it was 82. I was 11. The World's Fair for an 11-year-old who loved rides and science fiction was one of the most boring things in the world. I would not feel the same way nowadays. I was very myopic back then. If it didn't have science fiction or monsters or exciting rides, I was not interested. And I am sure I was a pain in Mom and Dad's butt because I was so bored. Hey, there's a big sun sphere. That's nice. Where's some cotton candy?
Yeah.
But my wife went. She was just telling me this yesterday. My wife went, and apparently her dad was friends or knew one of the big wigs at Eastman or something like that. I don't know all the story. And he owned a boat, and that entire week of the World's Fair, she stayed on a boat there in the river,
wow.
there in Knoxville, and got to see all the fireworks and everything. So she had a fun time. I was bored as could be. But she had a fun time there with all of her friends. They went swimming in the river, apparently, or something. I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't that great a time. That's it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed our little retrospective, our nostalgic look back at simple vacations that we took back when we were kids. We may have another one or two of these up our sleeve in the future.
We got
our
better
vacations.
as we got older.
Oh, yeah, they did. They did. All right. Well, again, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again soon. And game over.
Game over.